What is going on, guys? Alex West Collects here, and what a monumental day this is for me. We finally have Hollywood Hulk Hogan in the Mattel figure line. I feel like this has been such a long time coming. 5 years ago, we're supposed to get him. We saw that image at San Diego Comic-Con. Hulk got released, and that figure just kind of got canceled. I was devastated. Like, you have no idea. Like, when the Mattel line started, all I wanted was Hulk Hogan figures. And at the time, he was with TNA. We're getting those Jakks Deluxe Impact figures, which I was, still hanging on to because I really wasn't on board with Mattel right away. And when he left TNA and came back to WWE, I was so excited because I knew we were finally going to start getting some Mattel figures. And I've been doing customs for years and years before that, and they just weren't right. There was always something missing. You'd get a Mattel figure with just plain black tights and plain black boots. It just wasn't Hollywood. And, 2014, we finally got WrestleMania 3 Hogan right here. Love this figure. Have so many of them. And, yeah, I was excited. I was really happy to finally have that version. But something about Hollywood. And I grew up in the early 90s, as a Hulk Hogan fan. And I kind of dropped out of wrestling. And, I was just flipping through channels in like 96. And I think it was a week or two after Hog Wild, where Hogan beat the Giant for the championship. And I remember thinking, I was like, Hulk Hogan's still wrestling? He's wearing black? Like, I was hooked. And you know what? I was a WCW guy for the longest. And I actually hated him. I hated the NWO. I was always rooting for the good guys. And like, NWO is always cheating, always running into the ring. But as I got older, I really appreciated the work he put in as a heel. The whole history behind it, being that American hero and then flipping to the other side. So this is the figure I wanted. And we thought we were going to get it. Got canceled. Every year, you can ask Steve from Mattel. I'd hit him up on the side. What's the deal with Hogan? I'd go to Ringside Fest. I'd ask Bill, what's the deal with Hogan? Are we going to get Hogan? And, it got to the point where every year we'd get a Comic-Con or some type of a, reveal convention. And I'd be disappointed because this is the only figure I ever wanted. This is it. Like, if I had to get rid of every Mattel figure and keep one, I wouldn't even blink. It would be Hollywood Hogan. So after all those years of disappointment, finally, he was announced in April, and I was shocked. I didn't see it coming. It wasn't even like it was a special reveal. It was just a WrestleMania. I think it was the Access weekend. And I can tell you, in 2015, when he got released, I was so devastated. I remember going to every Target and just buying the Hall of Fame figure, or the basic figures at Toys R Us when they're still around, just to like make customs, and they just never fit the bill. So again, going back to when we saw the first reveal, when Hawkins and Ryder did their little thing in April, I was just so excited. And this is the figure that's really gotten me through the tough year of 2020. As stupid as that sounds, like, I just counted down the days. Like, all right, we're going to get there. We're going to get there. And it's just like different hurdles. It's like, all right, we finally see the finished images. We finally goes up for pre-order. We know when he's coming in stock. And he's finally here. And it just, like, I can't tell you how much this means to me. And enough of me yapping now. So, yeah, that's the history behind me in this figure. So I got 6 of them. My wife actually ordered me 2 more for Christmas. I'm going to be doing tons of customs, fix-ups. I obviously need 3 on display with each head. Or not 3, 1 of each with each head displayed. 1 for, posing. 1 to keep mint in box. I hope to one day get it signed by Hollywood Hulk Hogan himself. After hopefully this pandemic stuff kind of winds down. But getting into the figure. So let's take a look at the figure in the box. Let's get to a bunch of these out of the way. And just taking a quick look at the figure in the box. Standard Ultimate Edition packaging. Hollywood Hulk Hogan. Ultimate Edition logo. A nice artwork of Hollywood himself on the side. You got the back with the figure being posed, playing the guitar. And a nice image of Hollywood himself. I think that's from Bash at the Beach 2000, I want to say. When Jeff Jarrett laid down for him. The nice read-up, if you guys want to take a look at that. When the NWO invaded WCW, they kept saying there was going to be a third man To the shock of everyone, that third man was the greatest hero to step inside a ring, Hulk Hogan. Gone was the red and yellow, replaced by black and white, giving the NWO someone to lead the attack during the Monday Night Wars. Very cool. Hollywood Hulk Hogan on the side. Let me open this box and I'll show you the little Easter eggs they usually have on here. So generally when you open these Ultimate Edition figures, they got a little saying or something specialized to each superstar. So this one on the top for Hollywood says, when you're NWO for life, brother. And there's always something on the bottom. This one has Too Sweet. Just figured I'd point that out real quick. And here they are out of the packaging. And I just can't believe we finally have Hollywood Hogan in a Mattel figure. I can't. I never thought I'd see this day after a while. I mean, after he got fired last time, it just, who knows? I mean, sometimes you don't come back from things like that, and they just look great. I mean, I'm speechless. Honestly, Mattel outdid themselves. And yeah, it's not perfect. I know a lot of people were nitpicking certain things because obviously this figure had so much hype. We waited so long for it. And yeah, I don't care for the notches on the weight belt. It doesn't look that appealing versus what we got with like a Jax figure. I'm sure they'll figure that out eventually. But these head scans, I feel like, represent Hollywood Hulk Hogan so well. And people don't like the smiling scan. Hollywood always had that cocky smirk when he'd come out. I feel like it's captured so well in this head scan. And then he always came out and had that serious look where he's ready to go to work, you know? Put the title up on the line. And then, of course, when he's screaming at his opponents, calling them cowards or whipping them with a weight belt. I mean, these are all represented so well in these head scans. And, you know, let's get right into the accessories. Obviously, you get the feather boa. People are saying it's not accurate at the time. Who cares? It's a nice piece to have. It does look real well on the one in the back. And it is a repaint of the Elite 34. Very similar. The weight belt, as I mentioned before, has NWO. I would have preferred Hollywood, but you know what? They made up for it by putting the Hollywood logo on his tights, which is very cool. We'll get into that when we actually look at the figure. And it's, again, identical to the weight belt we received with the Hall of Fame figure. Same size, just molded in the black with the NWO logo. So that's pretty cool. You get some fisted hands. And Mattel actually sculpted, and if you can see that, specific gloves for Hollywood, because he used to wear the oversized ones that kind of went over his wrist. So definitely did a great job with that. Again, attention to detail like that goes a long way. You get the NWO WCW title with a spray paint on it. It looks really nice. Not too dark, not too light. I think just right. It looks really good. And of course, you get the white sunglasses. I mean, I love it. Let's get right into the figure. This is going to be a nice long video, so hopefully you guys stick around for it. So the shirt that he does come with, which I do have right here. So it tears away in the front, as you can see with this figure. You can get him doing the nice shirt tear pose before he when he got in the ring, before the match. Obviously comes the removable bandana with the Hollywood logo on the front. The shirt even has the rips in the back. Like, that's so good, man. So good. They really did put a lot of love and detail into this figure. If you want another close look at the head scan, the screaming scan, probably my favorite out of the three. I mean, I like them all, but I think this is probably going to be my go-to one on this figure. The weight belt removes in the front and just pegs out. Just like that. Got the nice diaphragm joint. The new butterfly joint. Goes back about that far. The first time included on the Mattel line, in the Mattel line. You get the double jointed elbows. Him doing some nice flex poses. I mean, so many dynamic poses you could put him in with. Got the waist rotation. The legs go up about that much. The knees bend 90 degrees. More so, got the double jointed knees on there. The toe articulation. Look at these boots over here, man. So nice. So glad to have an official Hollywood Hogan. No more customs with the plain black boots. Oh, the lightning that goes down the side of the tights. Hollywood on the back, which is accurate to his 1996 run, which I think was probably his best run. I know most people remember from that 97 run when he battled Sting, Starrcade 97, which is a figure that I personally thought that would be the attire they would have chose for this. But I'm okay with the 96 run. I think that was some of his best work, the start of the NWO. The only difference, obviously, is the boots aren't accurate because he did have the Terminator logo at the time, and due to IP issues, obviously, they could not include on this figure. So they went with the Hollywood airbrush design. Oh, man. So let's put him aside and talk about the other stuff. So, I mean, you can customize them any you want. I got this shirt from Threadhead. Custom shirt designs. You know, this was kind of the shirt he wore in his early run, matching the bandana from Hog Wild 1996. And this, show you how this head scan looks on this body. If you want to take off the belt and the shirt. I like this one too. This is probably 1A, 1B. The last two, and the smiley one, not that it's bad, but I like the serious look of it a little more. And so I did throw the Storm Collectibles shirt on this Ultimate Edition Mattel figure, and this bandana is actually from the Storm Collectibles, the red and, I think it's red and black, ringside exclusive. So if you kind of want a 97 look, I threw the necklace from the Hall of Fame figure. Completes the look. I think they're, I mean, I'm going to put a necklace on each and every single one of them. I have so many. But the flap shirt works really nice with this. Kind of what he wore in his later run. I do have some painted knee pads coming from Mac Decals. Painted the white trim so I can make a run at a 97 look as well. And here's another thing. So I know a lot of people did not like this weight belt. So this shirt, also from a Storm Collectibles, fits really nice. The Jakks weight belt on this figure fits perfect. Perfect to the T. No gap in the back. Looks so good. If you want to lower it, cover that other Hollywood, it's perfect. So if you don't like that weight belt, see if you track down this one from the Jakks Classic Superstars Series 8. Fits him so well. Just love it. And if you want to see how he looks with the bow on, that's a close-up look. Again, you can see how the hands articulate on him. Does not get caught on any of the wrists with articulation. So good. We're going to come back and we're going to do a ton of comparisons. So let's do some comparisons. Obviously, Hollywood Hogan's had a lot of different figures over the years. So let's do it kind of somewhat in order. We got the Toy Biz Hollywood Hogan from back in the day. How that stacks up against what we got now. And yes, the shirt from this figure does fit the Ultimate Edition really nice. So if you want to go with this shirt on the figure, looks pretty cool too. I mean, so many different options. Getting these two out of the way, we have a Jakks Classic Superstars Hollywood Hogan. And now, obviously, I've customized this one a bit, so let's get the bandanas off. And we can compare the head scan. So let's get him out of here. Something a little similar. You got the kind of straight face look. And if you want to throw the screaming scan back on, let's get that Hollywood in. And while we're at it, let's pop this head off and we'll get one of the smiling scans. get him to stand real good. Maybe not. So this head kind of has, I think, a little bit of a misprint on the face, so it looks a little funky. I'm glad to say that out of all the heads and all the items that came with this figure, this is probably the only head that has some QC issues, which has been a little bit of a problem here. I got another one. Obviously, I bought so many of these figures. So there you go. We've come a long way. I mean, that Jack's head, it definitely holds up. I do have another one that I did a custom of. Swap the head on there. And there they go before they go down. We'll get him out of here. And definitely tons of pictures will be up on my Instagram. I'll post them in different shirts, different outfits, different attires, if you guys want to see. So that's the Jax and the Ultimate Hollywood Hogan. What else do we got? We got a lot. So obviously, here's the big one. So let's get these three out of here. Bring back definitely the one that's going to be displayed with my WCW figures. I'm sure this is the comparison everybody else wants to see. So let's do it. Storm Collectibles versus Mattel Ultimate Edition Hollywood Hogan. You know, a lot of debate which is the better one. So this one is based on the Starrcade 97 figure, which again, I thought Mattel would have went with the Ultimate Edition. They decided to go early 1996 look. But, I mean, in-depth look, let's do it. Let's get these titles out of here. And let's start with the head scans. Put them both back up. Zoom in. I mean, both are great. I know the Storm Collectibles figure was really a hot one when it came out, but personally, if you ask me, I'm all on board with the Mattel. I mean, I'm sure I could do just the whole video based on the Storm figure versus the Ultimate figure. But I mean, if you guys want to take a look, that's the difference. Obviously, the height, that's another thing I'm noticing right away. The Ultimate Edition figure is a lot taller. Well, maybe not a lot, but definitely taller than the Storm Collectibles figure. And this one is just always bulky. That was my big complaint. Actually, you know what? I had a few complaints. This figure wasn't perfect at all. I hated this rubber crotch. You know, I feel like these hands always popped off so easily. And it's a great figure. I'm not shitting on this at all by any means. But these are things that bothered me when I thought, hey, I don't need a Mattel figure. I got the Storm Collectibles figure. And it just never fit the bill for me. I mean, as much as I love this figure, there's no touching this. There really isn't. I mean, here, let's take a look at the torsos. I know a lot of people are going to see it and say he's got the darker skin tone, which they nailed. Yeah, that'll be a point to Storm. Got some wear from the belt. See, that I didn't like. These weight belts are a pain in the ass to get on. But if you want to look at the skin tone. And you know, the Mattel one, is it lighter than Hogan should be? Yeah. Is it too light? Not really. I don't think so. There are your torsos. I mean, look at even the boot designs. If I get this camera to focus. Sorry about that, guys. I think this is as good as it's going to get, but try one more time. Sorry. I mean, look at the boot designs. I think Mattel, I mean, it's just better. It really is. And, I mean, they couldn't even put NWO on these boots. They had to go with Hogan. If you even look at the shirt he comes with, it has HWO for Hogan World Order. They couldn't put NWO on it. And I don't think Hulk has the rights to this shirt. I think his artist Gary Smith did, and they can't seem to track him down. So I think that's the reason we didn't get this shirt or the Ultimate Edition figure. They just didn't have the rights. But I mean, if you have this figure, definitely goes really well on the Ultimate Edition. If you want to look at the different weight belts, I'll pop in if I can find it. I got so much stuff here. There it goes. The different weight belt designs from all three companies, Jakks, Mattel, and Storm. Tight designs. So, I mean, it's a preference. I mean, I'm going to go with Mattel. That's just me. We'll come back and we'll do some other comparisons. So, more comparisons. So, here's just a few ideas. So, I know we get a ton of heads that come with this guy. Here's a fix-up I did. I just plopped this head on. This was a Triple H body with the logos removed. I threw on some Sting boots. So if you want to get him in like that cowboy boot look early on in his career, you can use an extra head for that. Here's another fix-up I did using this head. This is why I bought so many. So people asking, why did you buy 6? Well, I mean, I actually have 2 more coming for Christmas, thanks to my wife. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to obviously display one of each figure with a different head. I have all these different shirts. There's going to be one just for, you know, posing and taking pictures. And then I have one that I'm keeping in box. It's actually in a ringside defender right now. That's going to stay in box. Hopefully one day my goal is to get that signed by the Hulkster himself. If not, maybe Hogan's Beat Shop will have it. Definitely will purchase it from them. But anyway, so here's another custom I did. Kind of just threw the head on there. It sits just a little high. So this was, I did a custom using the Bash at the Beach thing. So that's kind of how that looked on that torso. The belt's a little big on him. Gave him the white boots, removed the logos. Kind of going for that WrestleMania 18 look. But again, that's some different options. But if you really want to see some stuff, so Mattel has made, I want to say, 3 Elite Hogans. Other than this, you got the Hall of Fame Hogan, based off of WrestleMania 9. I hope we get a Bash at the Beach version. The different head scan maybe, and the yellow stripe going down his pants. We got the ringside exclusive American-made Hogan. And no, these aren't, the Ultimate Edition figures are not taller. Obviously, these, not, well, they are slightly taller, I will say that, but not significantly. Obviously, these are posed, so they look a little shorter. And the defining moments. WrestleMania 3 Hulk Hogan. I have one of every Mattel Hogan, basic, elite, and well, this isn't stock. Here is, so they did have 4 before the WrestleMania, the Elite 34 modern day Hulk Hogan, threw an NWO shirt on. I was gonna actually try and pop one of these heads on that body for a custom for his No Way Out return. The head didn't quite fit, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. But those are your Hogans versus Hollywood. And if you want to get a closer look, I'll do a comparison on the heights. So Hollywood is slightly taller. Look at it nose to nose. Not by much. Just a little bit. I feel like it's still in scale. If I can get him to stand. So not by much. Very close. If you can see that. You got the American hero and the ultimate villain. And before we go, I have one more clip I want to show you guys. And just wrapping up here, and you know, if you stuck around this long, I really do appreciate it. This probably is the longest video I'll ever do, but You know, this really was a special figure to me. I just wanted to give it its just due that it deserved. So a few months back on Instagram, with the help of my good buddy Mac Decals, we took the Marvel Legends Punisher bike and turned it to the Hollywood Hogan motorcycle he had back in the day. Just kind of wanted to bring that full circle and show you how he fits on there. You know, he's got the NWO logo on the side, image of Hollywood on the top. If you guys want to replicate that, hit up Mac Decals. He'll get these printed and you can get it on the bike. And you know, just closing thoughts on this figure. It's amazing. I give this a 10 out of 10. It's so good. I mean, there's so many different options. Posing, displaying, definitely different gear. I highly recommend it. These figures are in stock only right now at ringsidecollectibles.com. Huge shout out to Ringside for making this possible. I really do appreciate everything they do for me. I really appreciate all your guys' support. It means a lot. When you shop at Ringside, it helps me out when you use code FORLIFE. It'll save you 10% off at checkout. As always, subscribe to my YouTube for more great content. Follow me on Instagram at AlexWestCollects. I hope you guys enjoy this in-depth review. There will be plenty of pictures and videos and all that good stuff in the next coming weeks on my Instagram, so stay tuned for that. Take care, guys.